very special podcast where I am interviewing the beautiful Carol, actually about one of our amazing programs from the School of Growth. Specifically, we're going to talk about Carol's journey into, or before, during, and after Dream Builder. So you may or may not have heard of Dream Builder before, but it's a very powerful 3-day transformational container. It's highly experiential, so it isn't just learning things. It's learning about yourself through experience. And it is, I guess, a very shortcut way to rewire your thoughts, your cells in your body, and your field to be in coherence and alignment with your higher self. So we always kind of call it the portal to your higher self and your dream life. Hence why we call it Dream Builder. But Carol, thank you so much for joining today, because I think it's lovely to hear someone else's experience of a program. Yeah. And so firstly, tell us who you are and where you live and what you do.
I'm Carol. I'm originally from Ireland, but now live in Brisbane, and I do some graphic design, editing.
And you're a mum too.
And I'm a mum, yes.
Yeah, we can't leave that
girls, yes.
Anyone who's a mum knows there's a lot of doing in being a mum.
Yes.
Before Dream Builder, and I know that's a while ago. When did you do Dream Builder?
2016.
2016. Yeah, so that's a while ago.
Yeah.
But isn't it funny? I always feel like the last couple of years are like a blip.
Yes.
So it doesn't seem as far ago as it was.
True.
So when you were coming into Dream Builder, firstly, what was going on in your life, before Dream Builder? What were you feeling? What was it like for you?
I think I was quite lost, not really sure kind of which way to go. I knew I wanted something more, but really didn't know where to go or how to find that. So I was very lucky in the health club that I joined. Marina was offering these amazing programs. So I was able to listen to a bit from her, which really sparked my interest in, maybe this is the route that I go down to kind of find my way with that.
Yeah, would that have been a mindset mastery class?
That's
yeah.
Yes.
I think people always find that interesting. And back then I loved it because people always thought I was just going to help them get a firmer tush and a flatter belly. And then I'd be like, come to mindset mastery. And then they'd be like, holy shit, that's why I do what I do. What?
Yeah.
So it was a little bit sneaky, but
very clever.
Yeah. But when you say that you were a little bit lost, do you mean with direction or purpose, or do you mean with communication, or do you mean with self? Like if you feel back into it, how would someone else know that?
I think direction and purpose.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted more out of life than what was just happening in my everyday. I just didn't know where to turn, or didn't know how to access the information that I know was inside me. I just didn't know how to get there.
Yeah, cool. And so then obviously you came to Mindset Mastery, you heard me talking about it, but what was, I guess, the thing that made you finally do it? Because we run Dream Builder like every year, and sometimes people will, swirl around the concept for a while, and I'm just always curious, and I always ask, it's the same when people finally join the health club or finally go on the trip, like what was the thing that had you finally say yes to a program that is a little different, a little out of the box?
I think just being fed up with being stuck. And just like, I'm just going to make a decision, and whatever that is, I'm going to just go full force into, because what I'm deciding on is keeping me stuck in this little circle, and I wanted to move out. So it was like, okay, this is it. I really connected during Mindset Mastery. It was like you just being so vulnerable with your story, which really opened up, kind of going, if you can access that through what you've been through, that's available for me too. So I was like, okay, I'm doing it.
Yes, I love that. And I think it's a great reminder, right, in the power of sharing our stories, because even in you sharing yours now, someone will resonate with what you're saying in the same way that me sharing my story has you resonate. And when I hear you say you just got sick of being stuck, I truly do believe that we will stay in suffering until the pain of suffering is more than the fear of the change. You know what I mean? Like even, or the fear of the unknown. And when we hit that point, it's like scary, but also the biggest blessing, because it's the only place that change can truly occur. Yeah. And in NLP, we have a saying that is, if something's not working, do anything different. Yes. So, if you feel stuck, it's like, just change is what your system is calling for. And it's okay if you don't know what it is, right? Just stepping in.
100%. And just doing anything different, like you said, is just so powerful, because it can just open up a whole other world. So really
and so you did Dream Builder, which is, we kind of like to let people know what it does, but we try to keep what we do a little bit mysterious for obvious reasons. If you've done Dream Builder, you would understand why. But I'm curious for you, Was it what you expected, or did you have no expectations? Like, what happened that was different than what you might have expected, or how did it differ to what you expected?
I think I had no idea.
That's generally the way, unless you know someone who's done it.
And I didn't know anyone who had done it. I wasn't long living in Australia, so I didn't know anything about it. I just had this gut feeling, which I have learned to trust more, but just I felt like that this was it. And I was really, my mind was blown. My mind was absolutely blown by it.
And when you said blown by it, because I think the thing about Dream Builder, it's really I always say it's almost like a fast track university degree in you, like how we work. Yeah. But when I say we, you're really learning your own map, right?
Absolutely.
So what was maybe the biggest aha or the takeaway? And I know it's a while ago, and I know you've done many programs in the School of Growth since, but if you go back to Dream Builder, what was the big aha there that was maybe the change maker or the way maker moving forward?
I think it was the mixture of all the different things that you've put together in it, the different experiences that we had to do, learning how I did it, just kind of like what I went through and kind of dissecting that, but then getting into how everybody else did it and their reasons why was just so amazing to see how everybody else's mind worked around the same situation was really, really cool.
Yeah, and I appreciate you not
speaking
about what actually happens, but it is tricky because just for clarity, if you're listening, one of the powerful things about Dream Builder, and the reason I say it's experiential, is so often many people in my experience approach growth work or personal development mentally, and we learn. It's kind of like we learn knowledge, but there's a difference between knowledge and knowing. And there's a difference between, information and say wisdom. And one of the things that I really love about Dream Builder, and it's very layered, like people will get only what they're available to receive as the next level. And yet the way we construct it, and I appreciate that you notice there's so many modalities and it is a mixed bag. However, the way it is consciously created inhibits you from being able to hide what you need to see, and it is just what you need to see, and then you'll see that what you're seeing is different to what other people are needing to see, but then that opens like for a deeper connection, right? Because it's like 100%. We're doing it different, we're doing life differently, and yet often for similar reasons.
And it gave me this kind of like a portal into other people, that everyone's going through their own shit, and it made me be more understanding and loving towards kind of like everyone in the world. I think I was a bit kind of like, well, screw them, they did this to me and everything, but it just kind of went, oh, they're doing it from just their place of what they're going through.
I love hearing that. And I would say that Dream Builder is consciously designed to help you take accountability for your stuff. So it puts you back in your power as opposed to victim or blaming. And then equally, I love what you said, because it does intentionally do that. It helps us step into compassion for self and for other, which is the portal to connection, and it's the frequency of love, right? Compassion. So I love that. All right. So what has happened since Dream Builder? Like did that flick a switch? How did life change after Dream Builder? Did you notice anything?
Yeah, no, definitely. It opened up so much in my relationships close to me, my relationship to myself. Yes, there's been ups and downs, but it helped me navigate through things that I wasn't on autopilot anymore of how I was doing life. I was actually making conscious decisions on how I wanted my life to look and my dream life to look.
Oh, I love that. Yay. The next question is, what would you suggest to someone who's thinking about doing Dream Builder? Or who would you think Dream Builder is good for?
Everybody. It's kind
all
of
right, if you say so, Carol. I'm not going to argue.
I just think it's so beneficial to everyone. It's hard to actually pick like a group of people to just go, okay, they should just do it, because everybody should do it. Because I feel that it would be amazing for everyone walking around to get really in touch with what they want out of life and how they want to live their life, and then also see that like everyone else is entitled to that too, and we can all do this together and have dream lives all together.
Dream lives all together. It sounds like a what do you call it? A dream life orgy. Yeah. It's not a dream life. There's no orgies, okay, in Dream Builder.
Unless you want that in your dream life.
Unless you want that in your dream life, yeah. Consent culture.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what would you say to someone who's like, I've heard about Dream Builder. I've also heard that it is, can be intense and that it pushes your buttons, which some people definitely do experience it like that. Other people are just like, I love this shit. I could come every weekend. Yeah. So what would you say to someone who's like, okay, I feel like I do want change. I do feel a little stuck. I hear what you're saying. I'm going to learn about myself, but it costs money or it takes time or like whatever their reason is. What would you say to them?
I said all those same things. And went through all the stories of why I shouldn't do it, and definitely parts of me coming up of like with resistance to it. You will not regret doing this. You will not regret spending a small amount of money for such a massive shift in your life. Just do it. Just do it.
Yes. Well, definitely though. Thank you, Carol, for sharing. I really do appreciate it. And I do know that Dream Builder, like I say, even though, I facilitate it and did create it, I honestly feel like over the years, it's been now coming up to 10 years that this program has been running, and it has evolved, and its iterations just keep editing. And I feel like it's taken a life of its own. And I have a love and a reverence for it that I can't quite even put into words. So you did so beautifully. So thank you so much. Yeah. And if you're interested in when our next Dream Builder is, definitely head to the School of Growth website and check out, next available slots, and just bite that bullet or make a time to have a chat and talk to us and see if it's for you. But don't stay stuck. You don't have to stay stuck. Change is available, and greater contentment, greater confidence, greater clarity is available, and it all resides in you. We don't kind of like make that happen. We just empower you to access those things.